Hello, hello, hello. You are tuning into another episode of TheWunderkindShow. Today's first topic, more DeAndre Hopkins news. So, it is coming out right now that there's a bidding war between Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills for the services of one named DeAndre Hopkins. Look, I've already said this before, right? We already know what type of talent he is. He's explosive. He makes big plays. There's already reports coming out that he might not be able to separate like he once did because, tell you the truth, he was never a burner. You know what I mean? He had game speed, but he was never a burner. So people are actually worried about that right now because he's not a super, super tall guy. He's like 6'1" or something like that. But I'm going to let you understand this right now. He makes the Bills a much better team. He makes Kansas City a much better team. And if you do not believe that, if you're looking at home and say, oh, I don't know, if he's really that good and he really makes them that much better, you're lying. Stop lying. Because we all know that Kansas City with D-Hop is going to be explosive. And anybody saying that during the year is going to be like, oh, well, yeah, they're going to get D-Hop to be even better than what they are. Stop trying to cope. Let's just be honest of what it is. This is part of the reason why I wanted the Ravens to get him. Look, it doesn't look like we're going to get him. It looks like he wants an exorbitant amount of money, and the Ravens are somewhat cash-strapped. I mean, they could make it work, but you know what I mean? They probably want to keep some flexibility because, you know, the Ravens like to add players during the year. But here's the thing. That was the main ingredient of why I wanted to get him. Because now Kansas City has a shot at getting him. The Bills have a shot at getting him. Let me tell you this right now. Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, DeAndre Hopkins. What would you rate that wide receiving core? Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, DeAndre Hopkins, Andy Reid. Like, what? Hey, yo! So that's what I keep trying to tell people. Look, everyone's going to look at the talent and the production. I was strictly looking at it as a chess move. Taking him off the board so that they can't use him. I would eat it. Personally, you know what I'm saying? What's that one thing with Rick Ross? I'm going to eat it. I would have ate it. I would have ate that cat. Why? Because now, as good, listen, I keep trying to tell you this. The reason why Kansas City keeps winning is because they do not rest on their laurels. They don't rest. They keep getting better. Even when they lost Tyreek, they said, okay, fine. We'll never be able to replace Tyreek unless we get Devontae Adams or like Justin Jefferson or Chase, right? So what we'll do is we'll replace Tyreek by committee. Instead of having one great receiver, we'll have a whole bunch of good receivers. And that did the job. Along with the best receiving tight end maybe in the history of the NFL, with Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball and the creativity or the creative mind of Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. Guess what? It was gangbusters. So now we're sitting here wondering, oh, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? What's going on? Listen, the Ravens had to do this because the Ravens were resting on their laurels. It's like, you know, at the end of the party, like you finally got to a party, half the punch is done. Some of the girls have already left. There's like one or two that might be still there. And there's only like 3 people dancing on the floor. That's what the Ravens look like right now. They're just joining back the party because they were so Lamar-centric. And they're still Lamar-centric. But now they've given him some opportunity, weapons, and creativity to the play calling to give him a better shot to be even more dominant than he already is showcased in the NFL. But Kansas City's been doing that, and they're seeing the changes. That's what I'm trying to say with Kansas City. They're looking at the NFL looking like, look, we got Patrick Mahomes. We're trying to milk this cow for as long as we can. Milk. But you know what I mean, right? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to milk him for as long as they can to get as much out of that as possible. They're not trying to get as much accolades out of him and say, oh, well, we sold a lot of jerseys. They're trying to get as much rings out of him as possible. And if they get DeAndre Hopkins, they can repeat. That's the only team I'm truly worried about. That's the only team I'm truly worried about. Now, if the Bills get him, I'm still like, man, darn. But I'm not worried about him as much if he goes to Kansas City. Listen, Andy Reid, out of every offensive coach I've ever seen, I know Eric Bieniemy's not there, but I think Andy Reid will adjust to the changes to another offensive coordinator because I think Eric Bieniemy played a major role in Kansas City. But the one thing that he is, his creative mind, is that he always makes use of all, operative word, all weapons at his disposal. Even ones that barely play. He'll draw up plays specifically designed to get them open and put them in the most opportune position to score or make a play or make a splash play. That's why I don't want him going over there to Kansas City. Y'all remember what happened with the Philadelphia Eagles? They kept going to the NFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, and they kept losing. It was like 4 straight times they went. And then they got Terrell Owens. Oh, yeah. T.O. Even with a broke foot, they still went to the Super Bowl. Now, imagine that team with a better quarterback because Mahomes is better than McNabb. Travis Kelce is better than any receiver, tight end, or receiver they had on Philly at that time, right? And then you add on DeAndre Hopkins to emulate what they were trying to do with Terrell Owens. Look, I'm just being real. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to be that. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm just speaking facts. And I always try to speak facts. That's just the way that I do things. But listen, as Raven fans, this is why I'm saying we can't get comfortable. Because these other teams are not comfortable. Kansas City is not comfortable. They're not. They are not. They won 2 of them things. They've been to how many Super Bowls now? They won 2, 3? Wait a minute, 3 or 4? I think it's 3, right? They've been to 3 Super Bowls. 1, 2. They're trying to make sure that they get enough, as much cracks at that game as possible. And Travis Kelce's 33 years old, turning 34 this year. Like, bro, like people are looking at it like, yo, look, you know what I'm saying? You need to get as much as possible. So I'm not too, you know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I truly wanted DeAndre Hopkins. But this is why we need to worry about this because these other teams are not sitting by. For as good as the Ravens that you believe that we have ascended and made the necessary moves to help one named Lamar Jackson, these other teams are doing the same thing. They're trying to add playmakers. They're trying to add game changers. They're trying to add defensive players. They're trying to add depth and quality depth. And that's why I keep trying to tell people. Because even if Kansas City stood idle, they understand that even if they were this much ahead of the pack will eventually start to close the gap until they're on each other. Neck and neck. And you already know NFL games happen. If you're neck and neck with somebody, anything can happen. A bad call, a missed call, injuries. I mean, think about it. So I keep trying to tell people, you know what I mean? Like, this should be scary. This should be something that we're looking at, watching. This is breaking news. Like, people don't think that it is. But let me tell you this right now. If Kansas City gets DeAndre Hopkins, Kansas City will have a chance. Listen to me now. Kansas City will have a chance to go 15-2 or 16-1. Just like I believe with the Ravens. And if that happens, we already know what it is. The AFC Championship game, Ravens versus Chiefs. Will the refs dictate the game? Will they have, Baltimore in perpetual pain? You know what I'm saying? Because you know the refs play a big part in these professional sports. That's why I don't want the score to be close. I do not. These refs miss a lot of stuff. They make bad calls. They call holding calls at the end of games so that other teams can score. I don't want to be put in that predicament. And that's just facts. You understand? So don't be sickened by what I'm saying. Don't be turned off by what I'm saying. Don't be off of what I'm saying. Just understand that when I'm speaking in facts, we do not need nor want DeAndre Hopkins ending up on the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the last thing you want. Huh? We do not want that. So, reporting from the Wunderkind Show, this is Nitro, giving y'all the latest news for your daily bread. But once again, that's another episode of the Wunderkind Show. Thank you all for watching. Once again, you already know how we do it. We have fun, we laugh, but it's rooted in what? Truth and facts. So please remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Love the comments. Just be respectful. That's all I ask. And if you would like to donate to this channel to help it grow, blossom into a beautiful tree sprouting with ever fruitly goodness, at the bottom of the screen is a QR code to the Cash App. The Cash App is also located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Also available is the Patreon. Yes, if you want more access, you want behind the scenes access, if you want sweepstakes, if you want fantasy football, that's where you go. That's what you do. Invest. Please. But once again, this is the Wunderkind Show. This show is Nitro signing off, and as always, you guys know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yerp.